Howdy folks, it's me, Manic Mark, coming to you from the bunker system located at Start All Over. Howdy folks, it's me, Manic Mark, your real fake outsider artist, coming to you from the bunker system located underneath the art villa, located somewhere in the jungles of the Midwest. That's right. Man, it's been a long time. Just finished my giant gig I was doing. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. I got a million things to cram in, trying to catch up, and I don't even know where to start. I think I'm just going to start with the 2X's beer I'm drinking here. This is going to be the first. Yeah, because I had to get up. I came home and I had 2 beers and that was it. So I'm going to, this is a little bit earlier on in the evening. I may be able to squeeze more than 2 in. Oh, that's good. Having a nice warm day today here on the Art Villa mountain side. It's over 70 today. It was just marvelous. So I ran some errands and I got a lot of work backed up, but that's beside the point. Where do I start? Let's start with the job. What I did for the past 6 weeks, with the exception of 6 days, we had like 4 days off at one job, and then we had like 2 days off, like 2 Sundays off. This was basically 5 weeks straight through, 10-hour days. We tore down an exhibit and built up a new exhibit at the Cincinnati Museum Center, and the new exhibit is the Cleopatra exhibit. And I don't usually talk about this because, you know, it's a job, and you got to be careful what you say if you want to get hired again. But I don't have anything horrible to say about this this gig and or the exhibit. This is one of the best exhibits I've worked on to date. It's beautiful. The design of the exhibit is beautiful. You know what the deal is that an archaeologist, a French archaeologist who's now famous and whom I met, he said, "You're doing a nice job," as he walked through with his entourage. He looked at me and said, "You're doing a nice job." And he found a big chunk of Alexandria that apparently during an earthquake broke off and fell into the bay, which is the Alexandria Bay. And there was a bunch of stuff down there that they've linked to Cleopatra's dynasty, depending on what side of the dynasty fence you come from. Cut all that out. That makes no. I'm gonna have another drink. I'm just so wound up today. All my muscles, they ache like hell. I swear to you know, in my mid-50s, I don't know if I should be, you know, this broken. But 5 weeks of like lifting skids, pallets. Oh, that reminds me. I meant to tune the guitar. I'm gonna have to turn this off and turn it back on again because I was gonna play a song for you. And I haven't. This is going to be with this cheapo guitar that sounds like hell. It's. I'm sorry, it's way out of tune, but this is what's going to happen here. Speaking of the last day I was there, I stacked pallets 20 feet high. I swear to God, I was on top of the stack, stacking pallets. So I'm going to sing you this song about pallets. Make me a pallet on your floor. Make me a pallet on your floor. Make it soft, make it low, so my good gal will never know. Make me a pallet on your floor. I'd be more than satisfied if I could just reach that train and ride. If I'd reach Atlanta with no place to go, make me a pallet on your floor. Give everybody my regards, even if I got to ride the rod. If I'd reach Atlanta with nowhere to go, make me a pallet on your floor. Make me a pallet on your floor. Hey, make me me a pallet on your floor. Mississippi John Hurt. I hurt the song. I'm sorry, John. I heard it bad. There you go. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. The exhibit. There are these colossi. It's not colossus. It's colossi is plural. Colossus, I guess, is not plural. It's singular. I have no idea. Anyway, they're huge. They're huge. They're like, they go up in the air 20 feet all the way up into the rigging. Oh, by the way, there are two of them. There's the female and the male. And by the way, I've never seen so much lighting on an exhibit. And I've done Nicholas and Alexander, which was a local gig, The Last Tsar of Russia, an exhibit on that guy and his family, and Titanic, a wonderful exhibit, the one I built up anyway. I love that one, very nicely designed, and Pirates, the only pirate ship ever found intact. I did that one. I did Gold. Another Egyptian exhibit that came down is more like geared towards kid that came down from Kosai out of Columbus. Did a build up for that. American IM's African American History exhibit, which we tore down just before we put up. And it's something I'm missing something anyway. But out of all of them, this one is really cool. And not only is just they kind of want you to get this emotional response of sort of being underwater. So there's colors of blue and there's curved shapes. And there's all these little hints of being underwater. But I've never been to Egypt, so I don't know. But seeing all these artifacts up close and the way the Egyptians stylized the human figure, they idealize beauty the same way we do these. 2,500, 3,000 years later, whatever it is. So I don't know if you're local. I would recommend that you come down and see it because it's pretty cool. Anyway, so I did that and I stacked pallets on the last day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 20 feet high. There you go. We're done with that. Oh, and while I was working there, I work with a bunch of artists. Many of them are artists. There's a farmer. I'm trying to think of anybody that's not an artist that works there. Almost. So okay. So here's another deal. Apparently, there's this group in town that gets people together, challenged folks. They get them together and they do outsider art. And so they find people, other artists like myself, real fake outsider artists, or just real artists, to team up with them, and you do a project and it goes in a gallery and they try to sell it, and it's like to support something, probably these people. I have no idea. Anyway, I've been asked to do that, and I'm kind of excited about that, to get into that. There's a wonderful young woman whose name is Liz that I work with that made me this thing that you've been looking at. What is this thing? Look at this. I haven't got a name for it yet, but there it is. It's are the eyes doing the thing. It's like creepy lizard, girl lizard, human, half human, and she's got a power crystal, kind of like a sword thing here. And there's I think you can time shift. I think it's it's a lizard. It's like one of those lizard people that you're always hearing about at that show that's on after 12 o'clock. I don't it must be gambling. Must be gambling. I have no idea. Rolling the dice. I have no idea. See the power crystal on the head. Some kind of brain thing. Anyway, I love this. It's going to go in the Manic Mark Magical online museum. I'll put a link to Liz's her sites there. She manages a gallery, little shop deal, inside a church she's rehabbed. Pretty cool. Anyway, very nice of her to make that for Manic Mark, and hopefully she'll be on the Manic Mark Talk Show sometime in the near future. So we've talked about that. Going to take a sip of beer. There's way too much. There's just way too much to talk about. And I've been working on every day. I get up at 5 in the morning. Okay. I get up at 5 in the morning and I draw for about an hour before I had to go into work. And so that's it. Basically, you come home, and the thing of it is, I try to figure out a way. I try to develop a way so I could start sleeping while I was driving on the way home, because I was just so worn out. there's no way I would have to just I would have to go jogging all day. I think my heart's going to give out anyway. I don't want to jog all day anyway. I can't. You can't be prepared for that job. So it's like going to boot camp. And when you're old and achy, like I am, it's just that part's hell. Oh, by the way, everyone I worked with, everybody was wonderful. I hope you guys got out of there at a halfway decent hour. No, I know you probably didn't. All of the contractors that come in with the company, they work so hard, and they're all very nice professional people. I just wanted to say that. Okay, there you go. Now they should probably turn off. If they haven't been made afraid to hire me back in the future yet, they should probably turn the switch and go somewhere else, because now I'm getting into the drawings, like I said. Okay, I don't remember where we left off. I'm going to try to guess where we left off, but stupid things. We did stupid things. I remember that. I wonder if I added any more stupid things in. None of this stuff's online, by the way. Not yet, anyway. The shake weight, we did that. Girl gets her arm eaten off by a shark. Oh, have you seen those photographs of going around and the guy reached into a pond in Florida for a golf ball and the alligator ripped his arm off and ate it? Oh my God, they show him, they captured the alligator and they cut his stomach open and they're pulling the arm out. The guy doesn't even have a glove on. It's like naked human flesh to dead human flesh on. Then they packed it. You'd think it would have go bad inside an alligator pretty quickly, but they put it in ice. I don't know if they attached it, reattached it. Captain Kami. I worked on a few more panels for Captain Kami. They'll probably have those online at some point. I started this new series of comics called "He Was Very Disturbed." The bubble thing's still on the ground. He was very disturbed. What folks said after he died. I got to thinking about all the things that people say about people after they die, and things that happen that don't happen when they're alive, and why they don't say certain things and all that. And well, I didn't get really deep into any of it. However, I came up with these two characters that have to come into my house and go through my stuff and my artwork. And they're not, they just think it's foolish. All the artwork's foolish. It's all silly. The woman, I don't know who this is because I don't have any heirs. Well, everybody has heirs, but I don't really have anybody. You know, there's money, whatever money's left over, and I'm working on making sure there's no money at all left over. The woman, she doesn't want any of this art because it's like penises. All these penises, what are they going to do with them? They can't sell them. So they go through this whole thing, and then eventually, well, she ends up shooting a guy that I don't know who. I don't know. It's an accident. It's a shotgun. All my guns are loaded in the house, and she shoots him. It's an accident. I'm sorry about that. I'm telling you right now, before I die, I'm sorry about that. So she goes to jail, and then my artwork goes up for auction. They sell everything for $10. Hundreds of pieces of art for $10 to this fabulous, sort of trendy East Coast art dealer, and then suddenly everybody wants it, and he's got old ladies coming over, and he's selling it. They don't understand the giant penises, but he convinces them that that's real art, and he's making money off of it. You know, that's what happens after you die. Okay. Things that are stupid. I added a new page to Things That Are Stupid Comics, and one thing that I really think is stupid is the baby bump. Okay? You watch Entertainment Tonight, and every night it's like, oh, so-and-so was spotted with the baby bump. I hate that term. So I came up with this guy who he gets pregnant on his forehead, and he has this bump on his forehead that has a fetus in it, and he's pregnant. And he goes through all the things like he's hungry. He can feel the baby bump like pulsing and kicking right there on his forehead. And I'm thinking that if it's like quadruplets, he's going to get these horrible deformed bumps all over his body that are going to have babies in them. They're going to, you know. That leads me to my last idea, which is I came up with just moments ago, and that's retarded ideas. Right here in the back. It's retarded ideas, and otherwise formerly known as Stupid Concept Comics, formerly known as Bad Thoughts Made Public Journal, or Economically Non-Viable Inventions of the Mind. Economically Non-Viable Inventions of the Mind. And one of those inventions I didn't come up with, but I don't think anybody's done this. So I would like to take the concept and turn it into a product, and that's Bag of Dicks. That's right. You've heard me mention Bag of Dicks before, but I like to make Bag of Dicks both in rubber and edible dicks, colorful dicks in a bag, and you give them to people that have had a bad day, and you just say, here's a bag of dicks, because life's a bag of dicks, and they're like, oh, they'll be dragging, and something horrible happened to them, and they'll laugh because that's funny. And some of them will be edible, like I said, they'll be like gummy dicks. Anyway, that goes. This is the beginning of formerly stupid ideas I have that just don't work out. I have many of them. I'm thinking I'm going to have to go back and I'm going to resurrect Penis Man, and he's going under the Retarded Idea Comics right here. He's going to go because I thought that was going to take off and it would be a movie by now. You know, at least a Saturday morning cartoon. Penis Man. That's right. And he's not. He hasn't gone anywhere, and it's very sad. Okay. Under stupid things that I think are stupid. Local TV health reporter. I've been watching her now for years. She started out just a kid, kind of like a pimply-faced kid with like straw hair that was like kind of not really, and sort of dumpy clothes, and she, you know, she's like, you can tell she's a go-getter, man. She's always right there. She must be like horrible to work with. I have no idea, that kind of personality, like that A-type personality. And then you got to get on TV and pretend you're sweet and everything. So, but she like gets the, like, what can I do to get my face on TV? And they give her like the health reporter gig, right? So, but through these years of her being on television, she's like spent big money on hairdos, spent a lot of money on clothes, and figured out how to put on makeup. But being a health reporter, you would think like she's coming on TV and she's telling you all this stuff you got to do to be healthy. But then the thing is, she goes from having her original tits to new extra big tits. You know, I mean, implants. You know, it's got to be implant, and these really tight-fitting clothes. You know, I don't have anything to say about that. All I'm saying is that I'm against changing your original titties to extra big titties, because that can't be healthy for you. And this is the health reporter. That's just stupid. I don't like that. Okay, going on to the next thing. I started this other comic book deal here called Working for the Media. This is a true story about me and my 15 years of working for a newspaper. I decided, rather than just talk about it, I was going to draw it. And again, these comics are not your traditional comics where the stories are coherent in any way. There's sort of like concepts and visuals, and you know, and you can read it and you can kind of definitely get the idea of what I'm saying. But you know, it's more like just an impression of the moment, okay? And there's some real, you're gonna wonder about what's going on. Oh, under retarded comics or bad ideas, I came up with this character, and I have to apologize in advance. And I try not to come up with characters I don't really have any. I've had experiences in life knowing people, but you know, you would like to have the experience yourself so that you can draw the character. And I know that's not, you know, what R. Crumb draws, like, makes up stories about blues guys too, you know, and he's some white guy, you know, so I shouldn't. But anyway, this is Terry, the homophobic transvestite. This is a new character right there. And he's, you know, he likes to wear women's clothing, but people think that he's, you know, likes men, but he doesn't. So he always gets questions about that, and he develops a really bad attitude, and he becomes homophobic. And it's just, it's not pleasant for, you know, if you're in the underground community like that, you need to be open-minded, because you're going to just create problems for yourself. So he's got some issues he's got to work through, and that's a bad idea. I can see that that's a bad idea right off the top there. And then there's, okay, one more under probably bad ideas is the insanitary comics of the insane and filthy. Insanitary. That's really struggling for a name for, you know, a comic book. And this is like things that I make up that haven't happened, but you know they have happened, because anything you can think of, no matter how disgusting it is, somebody's done it. That's the thing. That's the thing about life, is that no matter how horrible it is, whatever thought you have in your head, it's just a thought in your head. I'm going to tell you that, and you tell people this thought in your head, and they're like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with you?" But what you don't realize is just an idea, and until you actually enact the idea, it doesn't mean anything. It's just stupid. And then you do it, and it's even more stupider. Anyway, thanks for this, the lizard people, the lizard girl from the time warp. And you think I'm making this up and this is stupid, but no, there are people that come on the radio after midnight on Coast to Coast and convince people that there's lizard people walking amongst us that shift in and out of time dimensions. Okay? So it's not stupid that I applied that to Lizard Girl. Anyway, thanks very much, folks. This video ran over. It's going to have to be I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be what it is because I'm going to edit it. I don't know. Anyway, it's been great. I'm trying to catch up on a few videos, and I missed y'all. And cheers. I'm going to finish my 2X's beer now and probably go back to sleep. I'm just so worn out. I'm very worn out.